Welcome to this sheepdog video introduction. In this video I'm going to show you how to start a cluster, how to import an existing VDI. So if you have an already existing virtual machine, you can import it into the cluster and use it right away. I will show you also how to import an ISO image so we can create a new guest from scratch. So let's start. This is a script I created previously. I'm going to explain this later on. So sheepdog has to run on each node, of course. Okay, let's check if the process is there. Yes, you can see also this. Okay. Well, the process is running on every node. So let's check how many nodes we have. Dog node list. Dog is the command we use to interact with sheepdog. It's a funny word joke between dog and sheep. Okay, now we can see the 4 nodes. Each node has an IP and a port that communicates with, and there is an ID that we are going to use later on. Let's see also some information about the cluster. As you can see, the cluster is new, so is waiting to be formatted. What does that mean? It means that we can choose the default redundancy policy for the cluster. Now I have a small cluster, so it's enough to create 2 copies for each object. This is the syntax: dog cluster format C2. Okay, let's check again the information. Now we can see auto recovery is enabled. We can see the creation time of the cluster, and we see how many nodes were inside the cluster when it started on. If we want more information, we can increase the verbosity. And here we see that the redundancy policy is 2. Well, let's check the VDI list, and of course it's empty. Now I'm going to import an existing VDI. I previously created a share folder. As you can see, this one is my VDI, so I'm going to use QEMU img convert. I have to tell QEMU img what format the VDI is. And now the destination. The destination is not a file path, but is sheepdog. And then I choose a VDI name, and I keep the same one. Okay, it's going to take about 1.5 minutes. While this is running, I will show you some information also on the other nodes. We can see that the process sheep is running and is using some CPU. And if I run a top, I can also see the disk activity and the network activity. We have 86 megabyte in input, and well, as of now we have a low input-output activity on the disk, only 3 megabytes per second. So what's happening now is that the node test004 is importing the VDI and is creating more copies and spreading them on the other nodes. So you see the ship process is running on every node. Now I can tell you more about my script. Well, this is the syntax. The N option is just to have better performance. varlib shipdog is the folder where the metadata are going to be stored, and mt ship0 is a mount point for my disk. You can see here I have a dedicated device that is mounted on mt ship0, and the size is 220 giga. The second row, it tells shipdog where the cluster manager is running on. We have 3 nodes where the cluster manager is running, and if any of the node is going to be missing, the cluster manager is going to advise all the other nodes. In the end here we have this option that allow me to use a dedicated network interface only for the input-output of shipdog. This way, if there is a recovery in process, I don't affect the virtual machine network speed. Okay, here it's done. So now let's check the VDI list. Here it is. This is the VDI name, this is its size, and these are other information that I'm not going to explain now, but maybe in a later video. So what we need now is only to start the guest we created. This is just a straight QEMU command, and the options are just the name, enable the acceleration, and this is the syntax for using a shipdog VDI. Shipdog column Debian LXDE. This option virt.io is just to have better performance. This is the RAM memory, how many cores we give the guest, the key map, VGA, standard, and other options. So now I'm going to start a guest on the node test004. Okay, nothing wrong, so let's look the v1c. The guest is running. You see we have the QEMU process and ship, and here is our guest. It's just another Debian with LXD graphical environment, and what I want to show you now is that I'm going to save some data in this guest, and this data are going to be available on all the other nodes. Let's create a simple text file. Okay, keep in mind that the guest now is running on test 004. Okay, now I'm going to shut down the guest. As you can see, the QEMU process is not running anymore. And now, just to make sure you understand how Sheepdog work, I'm going to remove test 004 from the cluster. So I move to another node. I can choose any of them, and I see the list. And now to disconnect test 004, I'm going to use its ID, and the ID is 0. Check the list again. The node is not in the cluster anymore. Check if Sheep is running, and is not running anymore on test 004. What's happening now in the cluster? It has been too fast. The recovery is already done. We cannot see the recovery in process because it has been already made. What I want to show you now is that I am going to run the same guest on test 005. The guest is starting. Let's check if my file is still there. The file is still there, and this file was created while the guest was running on test 004. Now we can just leave the guest running here. We don't care. This time I'm going to show you the recovery in process. So now I do the opposite of before. I'm going to rejoin the cluster with the test 004. What I have to do is just to run again Sheep. And there it is. You see that test 004 is receiving data from the other guest. Sorry, from the other nodes. The recovery is soon done. And now it's ready. So let's see the second part of this video. Just import an ISO image and create a new VDI for a new guest. Now I'm moving on another node just to make you understand that it doesn't matter where you do the operation. it's working. It's done. Let's see the VDI list. We have our Debian ISO image. And now let's say that I want to create a new guest. And I say 10 giga. Sorry. Here is our new VDI. Of course, it's empty. And to create and run a new guest, I can just use the previous script and use it like a template. Okay, and that's all. Don't forget the ISO image. And to boot from CD-ROM. Just a typo. Let's check. And here is our new guest ready to be installed. That's all for this first introduction video. Hope to see you soon. Goodbye.